How you doing, guys? Welcome back to Grounded 2, and in today's video we're going to be addressing one of the problems, and one of the problems I've come to a conclusion is water. Now I'm playing on creative mode. This is because I don't like dying when I'm doing my videos, and I don't like doing all the other stuff when I'm doing my videos, so this is kind of me living an invincible life whilst talking to you. If you do like this content, hit the like, subscribe and notification button below for all of the updates, where I will try and bring out as many videos as I can. Now on to this one. Now we can't drink crappy water, and there's a pond, well, a watery puddle over there that's crappy water, but as you can see we're right next to a drop of water on the leaf. We're also next to this great big water sort of pump. It's an old one, and every now and then it drops water. As you can see, it gets stuck in the old clay here, well, dirt. Now the only downside is that in order for you to get water, you need a water container. Now this is something we need just to like collect water later on. There's a dew collector and we need one of those, but we can't get one just yet, especially if you're right at the beginning of the game and you kind of need all of that stuff. We'll get into that in another video, but for now, well, we'll get into that a little bit later. For now, we're going to go after a water container to keep you alive. Now you need acorns, and unfortunately in the grand scheme of things, unless you actually know your trees, or you've played Grounded, you probably know where the oak tree is, or you know exactly what an oak tree looks like. Now that is not an oak tree, that is not an oak tree, that is an oak tree. And if you want to know how I know that, by just looking at it, leaves. I've got an oak tree outside my house and it's constantly putting leaves in my garden, which I don't mind personally. Luckily, I'm going to say real luckily, this oak tree's got a nice bit of a span, yeah, just up the road, we got ourselves an acorn. Now if you're not lucky enough to have an acorn drop right next to your base, much like myself, which is quite handy, all you have to do is go a little bit closer in. Unfortunately, when I say a little bit, and you kind of have to go into territories unknown, which kind of sucks. Watch out for spiders and orb weavers up here because, well, they're for lack of a better word, gits. So like I said, I'm not going to die because I'm invincible. I'm happy, but these brown leaves here are oak leaves. If you've never seen an oak leaf, go outside, touch grass and come back and know, but this is an oak leaf. So it's got the wibbly butts at the sides where the leaf actually makes its shape, and they're quite long. So you're looking for this type of leaf. Now where these leaves are dropping is where acorns are. So anywhere in the vicinity of the tree with the big brown bits is an acorn. Now, like I said, I won't get attacked by orb weavers because I am on creative. I'm quite safe, so I'm going to take this molar whilst I'm here as well. And that is all good. Now, when it comes to creating, when it comes to creating the dew collector, so you need crude rope, weed stems, and silk rope. Silk rope can be found in these cocoons or web sacks, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to attack the web sacks, and you're going to get web fiber on the floor. I think we have to actually make silk rope, so we're going to need web fiber from this lot. So if you see these web sacks, take the fiber, it'll be okay. So we got some web fiber from there. We're going to attack the spider web as well, so we get more. And I think we'll take one more and we should be okay. Now if you don't find anywhere, found another spider web, hold on. All good. Now if you don't find any acorns near these leaves, unfortunately that does mean you have to get a little bit closer to the tree. Like I said, watch out for spiders because they are pains here, and there's quite a lot of them. It's a darker place, they're slightly more scarier, and if you can't handle this, in fairness, get yourself a better spear, get yourself a better protection, you'll probably have a little bit of a better time. But apart from that, that's kind of all I can give you hints there. I'm not going to play the game for you, I'm going to try and help you. So if you can't find a stray acorn that's just kind of rolled down the hill a little bit, yeah, unfortunately you do have to get a little bit closer. Now we are just above the cave that goes into the back of the ranger station, so you don't really have to travel too far. Only if you've changed your location do you have to move. So like I said in my last video, one of the best places to be at the beginning of this is literally on top of this rock, because you're in a very central location and it's kind of not very far from everything, so you should be fine here. Right, next we need crude rope. So I need to build, I'll just build as much as I've got. Fantastic. And now we need clover leaves. Now clover leaves are next to the smelly puddle, which is just over here. So south of our location, we're going to go to the smelly puddle, and we're going to pick up some clover leaves, which are these ones, the circular leaf ones. Let me just pick these up. Brilliant. Right, back to my rock. I think we're going to try and get some sleep, and we'll do the rest in the morning. Okay, good morning. So hopefully we get to do this right. I need to put my water collector just underneath this drop, which is about, I want to say right here. Is it right underneath me? Yeah, it should be like right here, right in front of me. So build menu, water collector, right there. I'm kind of hoping, because this is like take 3. Ready, and hit. It went in. It went in. Yeah, we got some water, as you can see. Drippity drippity. There you go. So yeah, you basically just leave it under there, and every time you get a drop of water on top of there, you just dangle it in there and it's all good. Fantastic. Now obviously that's quite primitive, but it is a good way of keeping yourself surviving until the end of time, because you will get water every other day or every day depending on how wet it is, and well, you should get a drop of water every day technically. But there we go. Next on the agenda is the old net. Now for the net we need weed stems and silk rope. Now silk rope, we do need to build ourselves a spinning wheel. So the spinning wheel is this, and it's one of the hard, you need to pick up a few bits and pieces for this. You need an acorn top. So again, you need to get yourself some acorns, which is up by the oak tree. We all know where that is now. You need some clay. You guys know where clay is. It's next to the smelly pond over in the south, which is right near us, which is good. You also need some red ant parts just up the road. There's an ant's nest. There's some sap just next to the ranger station, and you build the crude rope yourself from the grass, so all saplings and bits and pieces. So nothing too bad. So let's get ourselves a spinning wheel, shall we? I'm going to put my spinning wheel on the rock over here, and we're all good. Now the spinning wheel, silk rope, web fibers, we're all good. Okay, so we're going to put as many, we're going to put 5 in there as possible. That's just going to make us some silk, and then we can build ourselves the catcher, which is your next step to survival. Once you've got these basic things in place, survival is just a hell of a lot easier, and then you're all good. Now when you want to move, don't forget, if you recycle, you get your stuff and it's all good, you go off and build yourself another base. But it's probably good to have like 1 or 2 bases kicking around. So I would build like a little outpost here next to the ranger station and keep this as base number 1, and then base number 2 you'd have at the other end of this area, because this is quite a big area. Okay, now especially when it comes like the picnic table and Pine Hill and all of those places, these are all really like big places, so it's always best to have like outposts dotted around, and an outpost next to all of these resources is probably one of the best things you could probably think of. Now going into my next video, I'm probably going to sort of like take all this apart, move it all down into that little circle down there, but then build this actually into a base, and we can work on it from there and then build up, so we've actually got ourselves a resource capture area as well. And there we go. So next we are still, it's going to take some time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click my fingers, and all of a sudden I'll have enough stuff to build the web collector. So my wheel is still going, but like I said, we're in creative mode, so I can just carry on. Now it's quite a big piece of kit. It's not going to fit in your normal section of your base unless you clear some room, so we can clear some room if we really need to. Get rid of all these little like stickies. We're going to cut down this. Oh no, we can't, because our thing does not do that. That's a big piece of kit right there. Okay, so we're going to put our web collector right in front of us, and there we go. And now it's collecting water for us. So every morning, technically, we should wake up and we should have water. Now, I can't test that until I can go to bed, because I'm too awake and I can't go to sleep till 6 o'clock at night. But I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So whilst that's collecting dew, and that down there is going to collect it every time that gets some water on it, we got ourselves a nice little system to keep our water going. And when it comes to food, that's kind of where we need to go next. Obviously grubs and yeah, everything else we can cook. Aphids are nice, apparently. Rightio. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to be looking at building, because this is the last piece of resources that's going to keep us alive for as long as humanly possible, is the old garden patch. Now, the garden patch does need crude rope, weed stem, acorn tap, and spoiled meat. Now, spoiled meat I haven't really done any sort of like research into, because I'm not really a big fan of spoiling meat. I prefer to just eat it as we go. But the best way you could do it is stick some like X food, like grub bits, or you know, whatever you've got laying around, stick it in a chest and wait for it to go off. I know it's not great, but it's genuinely the way forward. It's how you make like manure. Well, basically you're making compost. It's okay. Anyways, we need to build it because we need to survive. So, garden patch. This is how we're going to live. I need to find a place to put this because it's so big. Alright, my garden patch. Right there. Okay, so we've got fertilizer. Yummy. Right. And we can do these. Okay. So we can grow these mushrooms with our fertilizer and we'll be okay. So this is going to grow whenever it's ready to grow. It's going to take 33 minutes or 33 hours. So 33 hours is going to be what? So a day and a half, that would grow. I'm going to wake up in the morning. I've got water, and I've got water should be coming off that leaf down to there already. So now everything's all set and ready to go. The world is my oyster, and now I can survive. Hopefully you've learned a couple of bits and pieces from this to keep yourself alive as quickly as possible. And that meat that basically died in my inventory mainly came from these little blighters here. That is food. That is a weevil. Poor little smegger, but you know, it was either him or me. And well, you know, I like to live. It's a weevil. There's billions of them. Don't worry. All right, cool. I think that basically just about does it. Like I said, when it comes down to like everything, this place is probably the best place for like a resource gathering. The best part about Grounded 2 is you take your time. If you want to go off and like gallivant around the level, go off and do it and be happy. But for all the people out there who have never played Grounded or Grounded 2, like myself up until this point, it's always best to kind of start small and start slow, get to know the game first, and then rack yourself into it and be happy. But everything is here or very close to it. Don't forget, big brown tree next to the grub hub is definitely an oak tree. That's where your acorns are. Don't go to the fern trees. Don't go anywhere else. Go to the big brown one. All right, so hopefully that's helped you. And if there is anything else you would like to know about this, let me know in the comment section. We'll try and find some rare stuff for you so we can get some proper stuff being made, and we'll go from there. So until my next video, live stream, or whatever else I do on this channel, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I'll catch you on another one. I'm going to say peace out, have fun, enjoy everything you guys do. Bye-bye for now.